Okay, so this is a video about turning corners. My With my metastatic cancer, the first drug had the chance of lasting up to 10 months. It petered out at the 3-month mark, and so our belief that we had time just sort of really shocked us in January. I went on to what's called a second line drug, which is where they, your first one's run out and they try a different one. It often won't be as effective, or it might not last as long and all that stuff, but we still had really great hope. And 10 days after I started taking it, I walked 8 kilometers, and the day after I walked 4 kilometers, and my energy was great. And my energy stayed great, and it's still great. But over the 4 weeks of this second drug, my abdomen kept expanding, and it's it's become like a really expanded sort of thing, like you might have on a very pregnant person. And in there is a build-up of fluid, and the fluid is basically caused by the cancer process. And that fluid is pressing on different things, so it's made pockets of fluid between the liver and the diaphragm, so it makes it crampy and breathing on that side. It's made a pocket over here where the stomach is, between the stomach and the side, and so that messes with how much I can eat and how well the stomach can empty, and it's floating around in the bowel, and that sort of like lets my bowel move, and then it doesn't let it move, and lets it move and doesn't move, and it's very restrictive. It creates a lot of pressure on the lumbar muscles and gets pretty achy, and it's uncomfortable. So I've conceded now to do painkillers and probably do them every day. I was offered what's called a third line treatment, which is where your second line's failed and you still got enough weight on, and your energy is still good enough to give a try to see if a different drug's going to work. And I started that today. So I'll know in about 3 to 4 weeks. Again, it'll have about a 30% chance it might do something. And I might get lucky and I might not get lucky. And if I don't get lucky, this will continue to derail. And once it has derailed to that point, I'll be ready to go to sleep, and I'll leave my machine off and take my painkillers and go to sleep, and then I'll just live on in everybody else. So really, I guess we were both half expecting it, but also still shocked today to realize we're, 5 months since the diagnosis of metastatic, and it's really pretty close to the end of the line. So they can put drains in and drain some of this fluid that's crushing everything, which is where we're probably going next, and see how much space that gives me. And I got a few things I'd like to finish off, so that would be helpful. But there's no easy way to say to people who have been on this journey with me, or who were really influenced by my work, or personal close friends who are really just, they're just going to miss me. And all you can say is take that missing, put your arms around yourself and say, I love you. And know that that you carry me from that point. And hopefully that strengthens you. And that's taking the shit of cancer and this whole thing and turning it into something really beautiful and a sculpture. And that's about as good as you can do. None of us want this situation, but it comes to all of us. Death comes to all of us. hopefully, hopefully we get to do it in a way that, that has some dignity, and that's all you can say. So I'm still here until I'm not here, and thanks for being along for the journey. Whatever gift people found that to themselves, I also found it really helpful to have an ability to put stuff out there, which was my way of talking to myself, which is what writers do, and a way that we counsel ourselves. And I really needed that through this process. Thank you to the people who supported my art and helped me to use some of the proceeds from from the art to finish off music projects that really mattered to me and keep up with some of the hospital excess stuff. So it was really useful. And in the early days, a lot of people bought books and things, and it really helped towards the cost of the memorial. And those were really practical help and very socially supportive. And so thank you for that. Thanks to all the people who were dancing along with me. It really distracted me. It was wonderful and positive and crazy and a great sharing. And certainly in that first drug where we kicked the tumours back, by 75%, which gave me a really good quality of life in that first 3 months when it was working. And certainly the dancing sort of travels the chemo drug through your body, and I'd like to think that it did a lot of help on a lot of levels. So there comes a time where it's really the resting time and it's the accepting time, and that's where I'm at. So I will be spending more of this finishing off the animation that I'm working on. Hopefully I might even get to finish it. And spending it, with the cats and with Chris and with some of our closest face-to-face friends, particularly people in our local community who are going to be ongoing support as well, for Chris and this place as our home. Yeah, so that's where it's at. And thank you for everyone and being along for it all. Okay, bye.